when Professor Gabriel Sitilwani, the Reverend Professor Gabriel Sitilwani, who was a profound African theologian and a philosopher, when he was asked, why are you not leaving the church when you have grown, your theology has grown far above, beyond any limits of the theology of the church as we know it? Sitilwani said, I can't leave the church. I am bewitched. I'm in the church because I'm bewitched. That's why Sitilwani, I think as a matter of enculturation, in his church, Methodist Church in Kroonstad, he would do sacrifices for the ancestors in the church together with the congregation. I mean, and that kind of sacrifice borders more on Catholicism in my mind, because joint ancestry with everybody else, not the people of your clan, is a little offish insofar as my African thought and understanding is. But Sitilwani did that symbolically as well, so that people should know that you can sacrifice for your ancestors. Well, I don't sacrifice for my ancestors. I don't slaughter no animal. I don't, because my mind is enough to sacrifice for my ancestors. My deeds, my invaluable contribution to the world and to the people is sacrifice enough to my ancestors. And if I'm happy about it, they are happy about it. Now, in the AME church where I come from, where I used to be, we used to say, let us sing a new song. One of the greatest statements was, let us sing a new song, and referred in some line, I suppose, that, and be glad unto the Lord, great things he has done. And then it tails off by saying, so loved he the world that he gave his only son. Now, I don't believe in that latter part. I don't believe in it. I've never believed in it. I've been a pastor for 34 years, struggling with my sermons to work around that so that it can be contextualized, so that the people can understand it at their level, and I can also understand it from my own understanding and point of view. But there is no power from on high that creates only begotten sons. Even Yeshua himself said our sonship to Abba is a joint thing. We are joined together as sons together. We are princes together to Abba, because he spoke Aramaic. And I don't remember Aramaic being anything else but Aramaic. And Abba meant he who is an overall creator, or it which is, not because it has no sex, it which is an overall creator. And if I use such that kind of grammar, that kind of pronoun for the power of Roman high, and call it it, Some will want to sacrifice me. Those who believe that Jehovah is just the I am that I am. Yes, I know. It is just the I am that I am. The I am that I am is so above these small arresting theologies that arrest your mind and plays with it until they beat it to pulp to believe that he had an only begotten son. I look at the dolphin for so that he can save us. I mean, Yeshua was sufficient to save us without being anybody's begotten son. And just being Joseph and Mary's son. That's it. And sufficient. And so when you sing a new song, you become self-sufficient. You know that as much as Yeshua, that the theologians also call Son of Man, as they work around his Christology, Son of God, Son of Man, it is sufficient for him to have done all that he had done. Therefore, you are sufficient to do all that he has done, because all that he has done are not beyond the realms of being human. It is all, and you are being curtailed from accessing that everything you owe it to him, he must only live in you. He lives in you already, if you understand what he stood for. Not because he magically lives in you and everything is done through him and for him. He's not that selfish. The Lord from the power from on high created even the dolphins, whose IQ is very close to the human beings. And sometimes it surpasses other human beings' IQ, the dolphin. Now you tell me that Yeshua died for the dolphins? You tell me that when David said, the psalmist said, when I look up to the skies, the moon and the stars, what is man that thou visitest? David raps off all that power from on high visited us through Yeshua, his descendants. He's the descendant of David, of course. The Bible plays around with words, and sometimes he's a son of David, sometimes he's a son of Yahweh. All there, just to captivate you and keep you dizzy. That's the purpose of religion as such. I was just amusing myself. I say, I wonder whether that the dolphin has this IQ far more than Donald Trump's IQ. Why doesn't Yeshua die also for the dolphin? And if he can die for a lousy scoundrel like Donald Trump, then allow him to die for the dolphin. Allow him to die for the bird. Allow him to die for your pet dog. Some people also go ahead and baptize their horses and so on. I mean, baptism is said to cleanse you from sin. What sin has the horse done that some folk go and baptize it? Because baptism initially is an idea that came out of it is an idea that came out of Babylon. It did not come with Yeshua. It was there long before Yeshua. It came out of Babylon, when you are dipped into the waters and cutting through the waters, especially when the streams meet together. That is a baptism. When you emerge out of that, you feel so fresh. You feel like you are born again. That's where the concept born again also features. Because once you are baptized, that's why a lot of traditional African churches will never sprinkle water on you. They want you to feel the waters of the river where the streams cross each other. A lot of them made mistakes. When they could not swim, they tried to dip people in there and drown with the people. I'm happy there's a law that was laid out that unless you can swim, then you can take people to the river and baptize. Let's sing a new song. That law was singing a new song to empower these men and women who are dying in their hearts to baptize somebody. If you do, there's nothing wrong with that. There's something sacred about baptism if you know its origins and its value. But if you sprinkle children and you give them new English names, you are not singing a new song. When I was a pastor in Hammanskraal, I was baptizing kids, and one young lady who was just out of her teens brought her daughter to be baptized. And others had given their children's names: Simon, Jacob, Ruth, and I baptized them because the church said I must baptize them in the name that is given at baptism. And that young girl did not have even a so-called godparents, because I didn't search for godparents if he wanted to baptize. But I just had to sprinkle water. And she put the little girl in my hands, and I said, "Will you name the child so that I can?" And the lady said, "Asante." I stopped in my tracks. Asante. And a tear nearly fell. And I was lazy not to trace that lady and to find out where is Asante now, because that happened more than 25 years ago, far more, a little than 30 years ago. And Asante, wherever you are, I'm telling the world that you are the first kid to bless me when I baptized you. I've told you already what is baptism. Earlier on, there had been debates, especially in the AME Church, about immersing people in the water and also sprinkling. And some pastors who had come out of other traditions joined the AME Church insisted that I will immerse them. And the AME Church defended the sprinkling and all the theologians. Man, you watch out these people who call, especially those who, not Biblists, but those who call themselves theologians, including their minions, the Biblists. You watch out for them. And this girl moved my heart so deeply. I had never had a child being being named Asante. It's like giving a pastor a child to baptize, and you say Moshweshwe, finish and clap. And you say Ushaka, finish and clap. Usenza nakona, finish and clap. Mantatisi, finish and clap. You say Mansupa, you can even add Mkhono Mansupa to empower the child. for lifetime. And even after this life, you want to look for names. My beautiful mother's name was Elizabeth. And I also named my daughter Elizabeth. But my daughter does not use it. And when we unveiled my mother's tombstone, I announced something that nobody knew, that my other mother's name was Maria. And people had undermined my closeness to my mother. I had known so many things about my mother. There was also a debate on one of the WhatsApp that I belonged to about 4 years ago, where somebody stood up very strongly. He said, my name is Esau, and does not mean it's a slave name. And I came out strongly seconding him. I said, my name is Paul, and it's not a slave name because I don't have a slave mind. And Paul, as a preacher, is a very empowering personhood. Esau, very powerful personhood. If that name is carried by your ancestors and you know its origins, it does not mean we will be always named, but we will be when we sing a new song. We will cease to name people from outside of who we are, out of our life. We will cease. It will come to an end. It is busy. It is busy coming to an end. The concept Biki Biki Macmir comes to my mind when somebody said to me, Biki Biki Macmir will Macmir one day. I used to laugh because I don't believe in Biki Biki Macmir. I don't believe in short steps. I believe in leaps forward. I grab the nettle by the neck whenever I can. I used to go into churches, and whilst we had sang the song, let's make a joyful noise unto the Lord and sing praises, and come to the ones that says, and let us sing a new song. I used to say that, but I never exactly was singing a new song because I was caught up still in a lot of tradition. I never completely sang a new song. I'm calling upon you to examine this, singing a new song. It is more than a metaphor. It's heavily philosophical. Singing a new song. It's not even theological because it does not say sing a new hymn. It says sing a new song. Sing a new song in your life and cleanse yourself. Get rid of friends that do not belong to you anymore. Some of them who drift away from you because they cannot accommodate you anymore. Thank the power from on high because of that. And remain yourself and be anchored in yourself because you have to sing a new song. You can't sing a new song when you are trapped in the concept. And I will always revisit this one, the concept of politics, political life. That's, man, I always come short of using a very strong word, an expletive, but very strong. But I will come to say, as Mangosuthu Buthelezi used to say, it's balderdash, man. Balderdash. Bullocks. And I'm saying to you, cut off anything does not work for you, the old song that does not work for you, cut it. Go find a new song. And there might be an old song even in the new song in the old song. You can go and begin to research what the song Mbube Awimbo 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 Mbube Awimbo Awimbo Awimbo. Sing a new song like the man who lifted the spool, the rails, and in rhythm at in one step forward, one same step backwards. And they sang, Abelungu basibiza ngodeme, Abelungu, Abelungu, godeme, basibiza ngodeme, Abelungu, godeme, basibiza ngodeme. Those were some of the people who were singing a new song. They were not going to be called "oh damn it" anymore by those who were damned already. And they were telling them to their face in their new song, covering it in their own language. But they cleansed themselves by saying, the slave driver, the slave master, go damn it. Usibiza, go damn it. It is not like the latest kill the people songs, kill the most beautiful people ever. I'm saying to you, when you cleanse your heart, you sing a new song, you discover the beauty in people, even those who have hurt you badly before. Once they have recovered their humanity, their humanism, recover it together with them. Ubuntu. And don't talk of Ubuntu when you're not singing a new song. When you are singing the old song that is not working. I don't think I'm confusing you. I'll be talking some more about singing a new song. I'll be telling you how Nkhono Mantsopa sang a new song in the face of the missionaries. I will tell you about how Mantatisi fought wars to save her son Sikonyela before he was enthroned, and sang a new song to show Batlokwa that she can be more as powerful as Shaka was, as powerful as Sekukuni was, as powerful as any fighter was, as Mzilikazi Kamashobani was. And she fought far more better than some of those women. Sing a new song. In my last clip, I said, I support the freedom of women, but it must be contextualized. It must not be a loose freedom, because most women are wired in such a way that if you don't guide them and if you don't guard their ways, I dare say, if they can bring a human being to the world, how can you compare that power to any other? If they can, out of their wombs, fill in the world, how can you compare any other power? Because yours is limited to just siring. I don't want to talk about the action, but you understand, it's limited to that. And nature takes all to sing a new song. The child sings in the womb even before it is born. Oh, psychologists say you must bring music close to the tummy of the